All right, so this is your first Alexander session. Have you had any sessions before with anybody? No. Nothing. All right, so I'm going to ask you one or two brief questions before we start. Have you got any aches or pains, anything that troubles in any way?
Yeah, I've got a knee injury.
A knee injury, yes?
Yeah, it's a complex tear to the meniscus.
Yeah.
So
a sports injury, is it?
Yeah, horse related as well.
Oh.
So yeah, but sports and running as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can you sit and stand and move okay, or is it quite painful?
No, it's there, but it's okay. It's fine. I'll let you know if it's not.
Good. And anything else apart from the knee?
No, I mean obviously it travels to my spine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've got some lower back stuff as well.
From that, yeah.
From there, right. Anything else I need to know about? Are you curious about what we do?
Yep.
Good. So what's going to happen is I'm going to work with you, do some simple movements, everyday movements. You'll be sitting, you'll be standing, you'll be maybe walking around, and you can't get anything wrong today. The reason this class is here is for me to really inspect how I work, and it's really nothing to do with what you do. They're looking at teaching practice. So what we'll do is we'll start with simple movements. I'll instruct you what to do. And as I say, the most important thing for you to know is that you can't get anything wrong. If something is unclear, you ask me. If something is painful, like your knee, when you're sitting and standing, if it gets in any way uncomfortable, let me know before it gets really bad, and we'll do something else.
Okay.
All right? And while we're working, I want you to have a look out of the window. There's a nice view. You can see people, cars, you can see the garden out there. And we'll see where we go. I think we'll start with you standing. And I'm going to make sure that the stool is always behind you. So if I ask you to bend your knees and sit in the chair, you'll know that the stool is always there. All right? You don't. Yeah, I know. You can check, but it'll always be there. So the first thing I'm going to ask you then to do is to let me move your head. And I might move it upwards, I might move it downwards, I might move it to the left. And sometimes you might find yourself helping a little bit.
I am, yeah. That's
fine, and that's okay too. And all you need to know is that you're not required to help me, but when you find yourself helping me, that's fine. Everyone does. I'm the mover here, I'm the mover here, I'm the mover here, that's it. And if anything feels strange or interesting, feel free to comment aloud. Just tell me what's going on. Are you still a horse rider?
Yeah.
Do you do it professionally?
No. I've got a racehorse, so exercises, yeah.
Do you put money on horses?
No, not no more, no.
No more. Alexander was famous for putting bets on horses.
Oh.
That was one of his great passions. He reckoned he could look at a horse and see how they're coordinated and work out whether they were going to win a race or not.
Yeah.
So he put money on horses, and he lost all his money. That's it. I'm moving your head. That's fine. And I'm moving your head. Now I'm going to move your head to your right shoulder. Now I'm going to move your head to the left shoulder. And that's fine too. And now, without you changing anything in this neck area, which is fine, put your feet a little wider apart. Another 6 inches or so. The reason I'm doing that is to make life a little bit easier for that knee that's a little bit problematic. Is it painful just when you stand?
No, if I stand for long periods of time,
Yeah.
it gets swollen.
Right, yes. Do you do anything about it? Do you take any?
Yeah, I apparently need an operation. I need keyhole surgery.
Right,
yeah.
Yes. How soon do they want to do that?
I don't know, it's the NHS.
Yeah. Okay, so now all I want from you is to, when I say bend the knees. You're going to bend the knees until you hit the stool, all right?
Okay.
All right, I want you to bend the knees. That's fine, all the way to the stool. And when you get to the stool, I've got you. And I'm going to move you backwards. And I'm going to move you forwards. Yes, and now wait there for a while. And now I'm going to move you over there. Yes. I'm going to move you back again. I'm going to move you here. Wait. I'm going to move you now forwards until you're over your heels. And then wait there for a while. I'm going to move your head again. That's exactly it. And let me move you a little bit further. And let me move you forwards.
Should I be on my heels because I'm on my toes?
Yeah, they're fine for now. Yeah. Doesn't matter where your feet are for now. I'll manage that. Let me take you a bit further forwards. So you can see these are just simple movements. I'm moving you backwards and moving forwards at the same time as moving your head. So the neck is remaining very quiet, very free, even when you're moving backwards and forwards. Does that make some sense? You're free as I'm moving you forwards, and you're not doing anything in this area of your body. The neck is remaining very free. Now I'm going to take you a bit further forwards and stop. That's it. And then I want you to stand up very gently with the heels now. Perfect. And wait there for a while without changing anything extra.
Where's the stool gone?
I've put it back again,
Okay.
close to you. Everyone's anxious whether the stool is still there or not. But yes, can you feel it now?
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Fine. So now you know it's really there. Let me move your head. And now leave your head there. And now leave the head there. And the arms fall when I take my hands away. That's it. And I'm going to lift them and they just fall by themselves. And the same with the shoulders. They don't have to do anything either. The head doesn't have to do anything. The stool is still behind you. Can you feel that? And now take the hips slowly backwards at the same time as bending the knees, and then stop, and without using anything here. Perfect. And now go all the way to the stool, and at the stool stop. Don't come back yet. That's it. And I'm going to move you backwards, and I'm going to move you forwards. Come with my hands. That's it. So you're just agreeing to come with my hands wherever I take you, whether it's over there, or there, or there. Can you see I'm the mover and you're allowing movement? Yeah, it's not an easy thing, is it, to allow someone to move you? I'll move you further forwards. Yes, and then hold it there for a while. I'm going to move you back again. And then stop there for a while. So you will be standing in a second. But you're not rushing. You're not going to snatch yourself out of the stool. Wait there for a little while. And then stand up with your heels and hold it there. And if you notice any difference in the way you're moving or the quality,
I feel relaxed.
you feel relaxed compared to what, walking through the door?
Yeah.
Right.
I think I'm quite tense in my neck and shoulders anyway.
Yeah, most people are. That's normal. But right now you feel more relaxed. And when you feel more relaxed, can you sense how that starts to change the neck and shoulders area?
Yeah.
What do you sense in this area now compared to, say, 10 minutes ago?
A bit more free.
It is, yeah. So there's a very interesting connection between what you call relaxation in the mind
Yeah.
and the quality of the muscles of the neck and back. In
Yeah.
fact, the whole body.
Because I have to sleep with a pillow literally under my neck, because otherwise I just wake up with a headache.
Yeah, yeah.
But that might be past horse injuries.
Yes. Yeah. It might be also
Tension as well, isn't it?
tension, yes. And when you anticipate danger or pain, the neck gets ready for the next ouch. So it's not a strange thing at all. Right now, you're not doing any of that, and you're doing this lovely relaxation thing where you're not doing anything in the neck and it's all softening. So the technique is to get you to a point where you can actually go to sleep when your neck is much freer, where you might not need,
nice.
yeah, when you don't need that thing anymore. Also, you move a lot during sleep as well. So, does the contraption stay on your neck all through the night?
Yeah, I think I sleep in one spot because of my leg injury, so I'm on my back.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So what's it like feeling a bit more relaxed? Is that strange?
It's looser there.
It's looser. I can feel that. Yeah, it is looser there. Now, bend the knees again very slowly, all the way to the stool, slowly at this point. Yes, and then stop. And wait there for a while. Yep, let me move the head again. And again, and again. Yes. And then stand up with the heels. That's it. So going back to what you were saying before about relaxation, the Alexander technique is based on the idea that the mind and body are one.
Yeah.
That when the mind is quiet and relaxed, the body is free and open. Okay. The two always go together. When you're stressed in your mind, you know that your body goes tense.
Yeah.
And so it's always the same.
Yeah.
Relaxation in the mind will always be simultaneous with much more freedom in the neck and shoulders and spine. Okay. Always. That's it. Let it go even further now. Fine. Let me move it all the way up. Look up at the stars. Look down at the floor. That'll do. Good. I'm going to move you here and here. So your head can move anywhere, really. It can move up, down, left, right. It can skew itself on the side. It doesn't matter where the head is. There's no right position for your head. There isn't one. That's it. Now be a touch softer behind your knees so that you're not sitting, you're not standing up straight. You're not fixing. Yes, that's it. See, just behind here, they're softer. And now I want you to bend the knees again as you get yourself towards the chair. Yes, and at the stool, stop. Yes, all the way. And then hold it there for a while. Let me move your head. And now I'm going to do it a little bit quicker. So you don't have to think too much about this. I'm going to move you backwards. I'm going to move you forwards and hold it there. And I'm going to take you just a bit further until you're over your heels. Come with the hands here. Yep, that's it. And then again, especially at this point when you most want to jump out of the stool, my hands are saying to you, you don't have to rush or snatch. And you can stand up with the heels. Yeah. What's it like to come out of a chair like that?
Very nice.
It is nice, isn't it?
You're really relaxed. So I think it's your hands as well. Like
Is it?
Your hands really relaxed.
Well, I hope so. If you got worse and worse as a result of my hands, I'd worry a little bit. But yes, the hands do have to indicate something
They're
of...
giving out something.
Giving up something.
They're giving out something.
Giving out something, yeah. And hopefully...
I don't know what it is, but it's like...
Yeah, they're giving out something. They're communicating something. Hopefully they're communicating that you don't need to do anything, that you don't need to get stressed out about anything. They communicate that atmosphere of, it's okay. You can be quiet. Everything is cool. Yeah, you're in a good condition. Rather than, oh my goodness, what's Anthony doing with his hands, which wouldn't be very helpful. So the hands have to communicate that general atmosphere of, okay. It's interesting, isn't it? Well, it's yours, actually. It comes from inside of you, and I'm just stopping you with my hands from disturbing yourself with thoughts and reactions. So your brain gets quieter. You can feel that, can't you? Your brain... What also, can you sense that the speed of the brain is different?
Yeah.
What speed is the brain going at?
0 mile an hour.
0 miles an hour. That's a good one. So it's almost stopped, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The brain has almost stopped its whirring and churning and churning, and the busyness of the brain has quietened down. So when your brain quietens down like that, can you feel the difference in the body? That's it. That's the connection. And bend the knees over your toes. That's it. You've got it all the way to the stool. And then heels. And then bend the knees. And heels. And 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 bend the knees. And heels. That's it. What's it like having the brain going at speed 0?
It's nice.
It's not the everyday brain, is it?
No.
Speed 0 isn't an everyday brain. What do you reckon the everyday brain does for most of us? Speed what?
100 miles an hour.
I think that's right.
Or
I think,
120.
yeah. And Alexander reckoned that that was pretty universal. Not just you or me, but pretty much universal, that everyone's brains go at 100 miles an hour, snatching into the future, jumping out of the chair, rushing to the next thing, busying and pushing and pulling and stressing and efforting everything. And he reckoned that was a problem, because it created also problems in the body. Always grabbing at results and fighting for the future, and the mind that gets into a habit of trying harder and harder and quicker and quicker. And that's quite toxic. Now, hips back and bend the knees. Yeah, you've got it, all the way to the stool. And then stand up again. And then bend the knees again. And heels. And bend the knees again. And heels again. What's it like to sit and stand like that?
Fine.
Fine. How's your knee?
Fine.
Are you surprised?
Yeah.
Do you know why it's a little bit easier on your knee like this? No. Have a guess. Why might it be a little bit, why aren't you getting the familiar aches and pains in your knees even though you've gone in and out of a chair 20, 30 times?
I'm more relaxed.
Yeah, you're much more relaxed, and there's much more of this poise in you, so you're not compressing down into your knee with effort. You're just here and you're going like this, like this, like this, rather than oomph, oomph, anticipating the next ouch in your knee. You're not careful. You just, as you say, relaxed.
So that'd be quite handy in dressage with riding.
Alexander teachers work quite a lot with horse riders for that very reason, because I'm sure you know this better than me, that the condition of the rider communicates directly to the horse.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know that, obviously, better than I can ever know that. And so when you're in a overly cautious condition and you're a bit freaked out by what's going on underneath you, the horse knows and doesn't respond so well.
No.
And the best horse riders communicate what?
In a calm manner.
Right.
And, you basically think backwards, so you don't do what your instincts are telling you.
You don't.
You have to do opposite to your instincts, otherwise a horse will react.
Will freak out. Yes. So in the same way that you said to me, I'm communicating a certain calmness. In a way, you're the horse and I'm the horse rider, and it's the same game. I have to communicate that you're okay.
Yeah.
And the same thing. Let me move you over here. Let me move your head a little bit further there. That's fine too. That's it. Now let me take your hips backwards there as you bend the knees over your toes, all the way. Yes, the stool is there. Still there. Yep. I'll still never take the stool away. Let me move you backwards. And then come with my hands, then move you forwards. And then again, I'll move you backwards and stop. And I'll move you forwards, stop. There, that's it. Can you see how you're not doing anything in your neck and your spine? That's staying very still and very free. And you can see your arms aren't doing anything. And then stand up with the heels. Mm-hmm. What was that movement like coming out of the stool?
Fine.
Any questions popping in?
No, I just really like it.
You like that mind zero stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Now, I want you to just go onto the tip of your toes. That's it, and then down to the heels. That's perfect. Onto your tip of your toes. I've got your balance. Yes, down to the heels. Onto the tip of the toes. And then down.
My ankle.
Yes, yes. Onto the tip of the toes. Yes, down to the heels. Yeah. And wait there for a while. Mm-hmm. And you take your hips back now as you bend the knees at the same time. All the way to the stool again. I've got your balance still. Let the head move forwards. That's fine. Let me move you over here and over here. Mm-hmm. And I'll move you forwards again. Yes. At this point, you're nicely staying with my hands and you're not rushing, you're not snatching, and you're not speeding up the 0 to 100. Stand up with the heels. And then bend the knees again. And then heels. And bend the knees again. And heels. Bend the knees again. And heels. And bend the knees again. And heels. Bend the knees again. And heels. Bend the knees again. And heels. And then walk around the room a little bit. Walk to that mirror, to the window. And back to the stool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect, yes. And then come round again. Fine. Yeah. What's your sense of yourself right now?
I feel a bit taller.
Taller, yeah. That's the other interesting thing, that in this, what you called...
I feel like a stretch.
Yeah. Now, I haven't pulled you, have I?
No, but I do feel a little bit taller.
That's the weird thing about this, that when you have that quietness and stillness of the mind and the relaxation experience, and the mind going from 100 miles an hour to 0, there's a very interesting thing that happens in the body. It starts to stretch or return to its natural resting length and also its width. Alexander called it lengthening and widening.
Okay.
It's not an unusual thing. It's what the body naturally wants to do under certain conditions of freedom. And the Alexander teacher's role is to provide those conditions through the touch so that you lengthen and widen. And you can sense it in your neck. You are literally taller. You're here and not so much here. That's it, that one. Yes. Yes. And the purpose of Alexander lessons is to be able to recover this natural lengthening, widening openness with the mind being at 0 and not 100 miles an hour in everyday life. And for you, perhaps especially in dressage, so that you have a higher level professional skill as well. Mm-hmm. And again, hips back and bend the knees. Look at the floor for a while. That's it. And then hold it there. Heels. And bend the knees again. And heels. And bend the knees again. And heels. Bend the knees again. And heels. Bend the knees again. Heels. And then walk around. I'm going to walk with you this time. Mm-hmm. And then walk around. Mm-hmm. And walk to the mirror and back again. Quite quickly. Yes. And then back to the stool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you feel the difference in the walking? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. What does a walk feel like in this condition?
Softer.
Softer, that's a great word. Softer. Yeah, most of us are quite hard when we walk. We sort of pound, wear out the shoe leather. We pound, pound. But the softness that you're talking about is that lightness where you're not going down with every step, down and down and down. Because you're taller and tending upwards, you're softer on your feet. So it's a softer quality of walk rather than a harder quality of walk. And wait for it for a while. Again, last time, hips back and bend the knees. I've got you there. And heels. And bend the knees. So what's happening in the neck and back as you're coming in and out of a chair? Here's a final question for you. What's happening here and in the spine as you're coming in and out of a stool? Your neck's staying more relaxed, yep. What's happening with the spine is... Yes. So you can feel that the spine's staying more relaxed. Hips back and bend the knees. Yep. Yeah. And the spine... More in line? Yes, it's true, it is. And hips back and bend the knees. So the pains in the lower back usually come from a compression of the spine, and when you open up from that, you might feel some more circulation in this area, and more sensation. Let me move you further forwards. That's fine. And then stand up again. And then walk around. And what we're going to do right now is do something called table work. You're going to come on here, probably with your shoes off. And we'll have you on your...
I'm not doing my shoelaces.
That's fine. That's fine. So we'll have you on here, with your head on your back, with your head on the books. That's it. Yes. Yeah. So table work is very similar to what we were doing before with chair. It's the same request. I want to do the moving, and you don't have to help me. And I'm going to put my hand underneath your shoulder and suggest to all of you that you can drop into gravity. You can drop more and more into the gravity field. And there's still no onus on you to achieve anything. You don't have to relax anything. You don't have to reposition anything. You just lie there, and whatever happens is what's desired to happen. Are you with me? There's nothing you need to do about...
I know something's already, because normally if I lay on my back, I have an arch in my back.
Yes.
But my spine feels like it's
touching.
completely on the bed.
Yes, and you haven't tried to flatten it, have you?
No.
No, so it's happened.
Normally I would naturally...
It would. So something's changed in the way that you're responding to gravity. You're completely flat.
Yeah.
That's right. So that happens without me pushing anything or you pushing anything, because you're in that different condition, which you describe very nicely as longer, and also the mind being much closer to zero than 100 miles an hour. So is your mind still quite still and quiet? What's it like lying down? Yeah. So that goes together. It's like a letting go of the speed of the brain, the normal speed that most of us carry around every day thinking it's normal. It's dropped. And when that drops, when the speed drops in the brain, the body drops into the table. And you don't have that arch thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit surprising for you, that, isn't it? The lower back doesn't normally stay like that, does it?
No.
But the important thing for you to remember is you haven't achieved the flat back by pushing. It's happened spontaneously as a result of everything else that you're
I feel
achieving.
heavier.
Heavier, that's natural gravity. You should feel heavy, yes. Heavier because you're surrendering your normal weight into the table. That's healthy heaviness. And you can only get that healthy heaviness when something surrenders in the mind, when you're not controlling things. And most of us are control freaks, controlling ourselves even unconsciously as a way of being, like, I'm in control. When that quietens and softens and surrenders, the body indicates that by softening and getting heavier. How are you doing there? Good. What do you sense in the neck?
Free.
Free.
Loose.
Free and loose. Yeah. It is, isn't it? Yeah.
I actually feel like numb.
Numb, as in no feeling at all. Yeah. The absence of tension sometimes feels like nothing, doesn't it? Nothing. Numb. Because we're so used to carrying around something. We get used to it. We call it tension, but we get used to it. And when you don't have it, it feels, goodness, where is it? Where's that normal feeling I have that's me? And now you haven't got that feeling of me at the moment, and it feels a bit numb. It's just the absence of familiar tension, that's all it is. So the Alexander technique is designed to allow you to have the experience of feeling nothing. Nothing. Emptiness. Not the usual something that we carry around thinking it's normal. So this isn't how you normally feel yourself, is it?
I'd like to feel like this all the time.
Yeah. Well, you can. Not every second, because life happens. But you can certainly recover a lot of this for more of the time, because you've got it now. And in this condition, for more of the time, you can imagine how healthy that is. when you have more of this condition.
This feels like more rest than if you actually have a full night's sleep.
In a way it is. It's very, very deep rest, because actually during sleep often habits kick in.
Yeah.
Unconscious habits of tension, and we can grind our
I
teeth.
don't think I'm this relaxed when I'm asleep anyway.
Most people aren't. That's why people grind their teeth at night. It doesn't mean just because you're sleeping doesn't mean you're relaxed. And here,
I do that. I clench my jaw.
it's very common. So it's a myth to think that sleeping always entails deep relaxation. It doesn't. But right now, you are probably more relaxed than you are when you sleep. And the more you have this new habit of recovering this nothingness, it starts to feed through more into sleep patterns. Okay, you leave that knee where it is for a while. I'll move that one there. In a second, I'm going to help you off the table. And as usual, there's very little I want you to do about it. I will guide you. What will happen is you're going to roll this way, and that knee is going to come over the side of the table along with that foot. They'll be falling off the table. And I'll support the, like that, I'll support the head. So you start to roll, keep on rolling, feet over the side, both of them, fine, and then wait there for a while. And then you can help yourself off the table with your hands and come to the floor. Yes. And then I'm going to guide you to the stool. So you walk around. Yes, come and stand in front of the stool. And then hold it there for a while. And then very gently take your hips back and bend your knees again till you hit the stool, and then hold it there. Yeah. And that's fine. Okay. That's your first Alexander lesson.
Very nice, thank you.
Any questions that are kicking in? Any?
No, if I were to describe it as a colour, it would be white.
Very clean.
Yeah.
Like very little else, not like scribble of black on a whiteboard. Is that the idea of white, that it's not noisy?
Yeah.
It's a lovely colour, white. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to share?
No, I think it's just very relaxed, loose and free feeling.
Yeah.
Especially here.
Especially in your neck and shoulders.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yes.
Feel that sort of.
It's lifting upwards. It is. It's lifting upwards of its own accord.
My head doesn't feel as heavy, funny enough.
No, heads do feel lighter when it's working well, and it's designed to feel light like this when everything's working. And in a way, I didn't do that for you. I just liberated with you the conditions that enable this natural thing. This is natural. This is the way you're born. You're born with this ability to be in gravity and to be upright and poised. And really, you just recovered what's already there in your system. It's an organic reality. And so the lessons are there to promote this recovery of your natural organic health. Good. So thanks very much for coming in today. It's really,
Thank you very much.
thank you. All the best.
Thank you.